Come here, darling, I've got something for you.
Me?
Yeah, come here.
No.
Come here.
No.
Why?
No.
Why?
No.
No, just come here. I just wanted to give you a hug.
Fuck no. What's happening, my fellow geeks and geekettes? Welcome to a brand new episode of Chris's Custom Collectibles, and it is another Mandalorian themed video for today. So we are going to be doing some modifications to the Sideshow Collectibles 1:1 scale, the child figure from the Mandalorian. Now, you saw the unboxing video that I did with my mum the other week. Thank you so much for the overwhelming response. That was a lot of fun to do. So I've been watching some modification videos on YouTube, most notably Adam Savage's mod video on his tested YouTube channel when he modified his child figure. But the one mod that I saw that really solidified me wanting to do this was Jeremy Bruce's modification. Jeremy Bruce has inertia props, and as you can see right here, his modifications to the child where you're able to make him sit down were just perfect. So the mods that we're going to be doing today is adding some movable joints in the arms and the legs. We're also going to be doing some initial weathering on his jacket, and finally just dialing back the rosiness of his cheeks with some baby wipes. It is a very simple process, so it may be a little bit touch and go in terms of inserting and fixing the new joints in place. Now, as you see right here, we have a very empty looking podium. Where is the child? Where is the asset? Mama, the asset.
I'm the asset.
She's back. Back with a vengeance. What the hell have you done to him?
I decorated him for an Aussie Christmas.
I can see that. He looks quite beautiful. The hat really does suit him, actually. It looks just adorable.
And hasn't he got the cutest little balls? I love them, darling. They're just like yours.
Nice set of earrings, mate.
Mate, he matches me.
So when you see him next, he's going to be a little bit different. We're going to be able to pose him when we're done. So I'd like to have him in a seated position, holding the little gear shift knob and also doing the force. I'm going to weather up the jacket a bit more and just dial back the rosy cheeks just a bit. What do you reckon?
What's going to happen to his little...
He'll still have his little claws there. So
Yeah.
In here we're going to be replacing the joints here with a bendable material.
Are you cutting them off?
I am dismantling him, yes. Do I have your permission to do that?
He'll be legless like I was last night.
Give him a few drinks, it'll soften the pain. You'll be right, buddy.
Come here, darling, I've got something for you.
Me?
Yeah, come here.
No.
Come here.
No.
Why?
No.
Why?
No.
No, just come here. I just wanted to give you a hug.
Fuck no.
His bum screws when I go near him because he doesn't know what's going to happen. Can I go now?
You can go. I've got work to do. Off you go.
Have a fabulous day.
Bye, Mum. Alrighty, so let's remove his beautiful looking decorations for the time being. I love that hat. It actually really does suit him. So let's take the jacket off, unzip that, and just unvelcro the bib, and voila. What a beautiful looking specimen. So in terms of weathering the jacket, it's pretty much going to be going around a lot of the seams and resoiling them. So I want to make the arms and the legs posable, and for that, we're going to be using gardening soft ties. This is stuff that you can tie your hose together with. You can tie plants to support sticks when you want a plant to grow a certain way. So this comes in 5-meter reels from Bunnings Warehouse. It has a wire embedded in the soft foam. So it is going to be a matter of dremeling these pieces out here. So we do have to cut these limbs off. It is a bit scary, but it is a necessity if we want this method to work. Now, before we go any further, the first step with this customization is dialing back the rosy cheeks. And I've just got a standard unscented baby wipe. And the beauty part about using baby wipes is it's a slow process. So you can do it in stages and dial it back in a nice, easy manner, as opposed to using rubbing alcohol, which may take too much of the paint off. Now, you may not be able to see it, the camera may not be picking it up, but there is some red paint on there. That's what I mean. It's a subtle process. Whereas using a rubbing alcohol, you can use a rubbing alcohol if you like, but use it extremely, extremely sparingly. Now, it is a pretty subtle dial back, but I'm pretty happy with how this is looking now. I just feel like the rosiness is a bit more natural in his cheeks. Again, it's a very simple process. Take your time with it, geeks and geekettes, if you are following this certain modification method. Okay, so for the actual limb removal, because these are permanently glued in place, so it is pointless to unscrew his back for the time being until the limbs have been taken off, I'm actually going to be using some little hobby saws here, just so there's a bit more control as opposed to the Dremel. So I'm either going to be using the Dremel or the hobby saw for the actual proper full limb removal here. So you see there's some expander foam inside the head just to keep it a bit more stable, apart from the ears, because the ears are very flexible. So obviously from seeing Adam Savage's video, there is cast resin in here as a weight just for the center of gravity, just to keep him a bit more heavy set. So he'll sit on that base a lot more easily. So I'm gonna put it back together, because I just wanted to do that just to remove the head so it's out of danger, out of the way, just so I don't damage it. Okay, so all the limbs have been taken off, pretty happy so far. So I think this is gonna be a matter of either filling this area in with either resin or expander foam and vice versa for the upper torso here. So next step, and this is very last minute, I'm gonna be dremeling out this area here because I do wanna modify the head so it is also posable. So I've just got my bullet head attachment on the Ryobi rotary tool here, and we're just gonna Dremel out this area here, this lower lip here where the head usually sits, because probably gonna embed one of those gardening wires in there and into the head so it can pivot, swivel, and we can change the direction and the angle of it. Okay, so we've Dremeled out the neck area, and I actually went a bit extra at the front here because it would be nice to have the head, as we put it right there, kind of pivot down. You need that extra bit of space there. So I'm gonna see how much expander foam I have left. I don't think I have much in terms of filling both these voids here, so might be a matter of foam, resin and foam. Okay, so I've gone ahead and taped up each side, so when we fill this void here with our foam, and excuse me for wearing this tacky glove, I sliced my finger open here working on him. He didn't like the fact that I was taking his limbs off. So when we pour the foam in here, it's not gonna come out the sides here, it's gonna whoop, come up the top here. So the foam in question we're gonna be using is our Foam 33 from Barnes. Mix ratio is 100 to 100, and you honestly only need a little bit, so hopefully I do have enough left here to fill this area. Okay, so whilst the R-foam is curing, this will be about an hour before it's good to start cutting and sanding, I'm gonna go in and fill in the leg area here with supercast resin. So like I said, I did run out of expander foam, which is totally okay because we can use some supercast to fill in this void here. Again, like R-foam, mix ratio is 100 to 100, and it is pretty warm today, so this will cure in about an hour's time. All right, Geeks and Geekettes, it's time to start assembling the replacement limbs. So as you can see right here, I've gone ahead and started the process of doing the head modification. So what you see here is a mixture of the green soft tie and these garden twists. So this is the main body with this wrapped around it. The reason being I also use these is because they're just a bit more sturdy and have a bit more oomph and body to them, just to support the head and the limbs, especially the legs, because now that we've put resin here, he is a little bit more heavier. Ideally, I would have loved to have expander foam here, but you know what, it still does the trick. So what I'm going to do to embed this here and fix it in place is get some more supercast resin, pour it in there, and then slot this bad boy in like so, and then we're able to tilt the head down. Now I am probably gonna take a bit more off here so we can get much more of a dynamic look down. So I'll probably do that before I pour the resin in, obviously. But that essentially is going to be the steps for all the limbs. With the leg pieces here, we're gonna have to drill these out and Dremel them out because it is solid resin, so it's gonna be a little bit touch and go in terms of that, but with the arms, it's gonna be nice and easy. I have taken measurements of the original length of the arms and legs before I went ahead and hacked into pieces just to make sure that the proportions are gonna be the same. So you can see I'm just starting to get the basic shapes ready and the basic measurements. So it's 17 centimeters from this point to the tip of his index nail. So each side has measured out at 17 centimeters. So I'm just gonna use a cheap and nasty super glue and glue these two pieces in place. And I'm gonna go in and reinforce it with hot glue just so it's really meshed in there. And then also the head does slot in perfectly. So it is gonna kind of complement each other, all gonna hold each other in place together. Alrighty, geeks and geekettes, here is how the child is looking so far, and I'm really happy with the results I'm getting out of this method. So he does feel not flimsy, but you gotta understand there are kind of springish joints here now, and he does have a bit of a bobblehead, but the point is it can move down, which is amazing. And I'm gonna be posing him in a sitting position anyway, grasping the gear shift knob. So that is the idea, but for the most part, he can stand up, which is amazing. So the next and final step is we're gonna weather his little coat. Okay, so here we have the coat all laid out, and for the most part, the weathering is beautiful on it. It's a beautiful blank canvas to go off, but I just feel like we just need to add a few more stains in the seams and also the base of the coat where we'll be dragging along the ground. So to start off, we're gonna be using a burnt umber oil color. So I've got it on some foam core here with a brush, and you just need, seriously, the littlest bit. It's one of those things where a little dab will do you. Just start brushing it around the seams and where you see fit. And you just find that happy medium when it comes to weathering with oil colors. I love them. They're absolutely beautiful to weather things with, especially armored pieces. So I'll give you an example of a finished seam right here. So as you can see right there, it's just highlighted the seam there and just given it a bit more of a soiling effect, which is what we're going for. So I'm going to be repeating this step pretty much all over the seam areas and also the base of the coat. Once this is done, we can pop this back on the child, pose him, and call it a day and see what mum thinks of it. Look at the baby. All right, let's give these a whirl. Yes, yes. Bendy arms. It's alive. It's alive. Look at that. Ah, all right, tilt the head down. Perfect. Ta-da.
Ta-da!
What do you reckon?
What do you reckon?
What do you reckon, mate?
Oh, how's my hair?
How's my hair?
Terrible.
What do you think?
I think you've done a great job.
Looks a lot, not to say that he didn't look bad, but now that we can pose him,
Yes.
he's got a lot more personality.
Before he was stiff, and when you cradled him, it was just like stiff, hard plastic in your arms.
Just like hugging you.
Yes. And now he's all cute and flexible and cuddly. And I'm going to... Oh, I want to see if I could make him have an up and under. Good catch.
Now he is going to vomit like he did in the last episode.
Well, I would too if I had a little black, like, knobby thing going up my clacker
Up
there.
my clacker?
Yeah. No, he's good. He's really good because you can bend him and he cuddles in now.
See, what I love is he looks better looking down, whereas when he was permanently looking up, you kind of lost the personality.
You did,
Whereas
yeah.
looking down and he's kind of using the force and he's holding the gear shifter knob, it just has a lot more personality. Did a bit of weathering on the cloak just to give it a bit more shades in the seams and all that, so I love it. I love the fact that he can sit down now.
Yes.
I think he looks better sitting down.
That was the thing because...
He's always sitting on a rock.
Yeah, and his legs weren't flexible. You would think they would have given him flexible legs. Like, I've got flexible legs. Now that he sits down, it's a whole new deal.
That's it.
It's a whole new deal because, like, really any toy you buy, you can adjust the arms, the legs, you can make them fit into you. So, good job.
Thanks, mate.
Are you going to pay me now or...?
You should be paying me. I put a whole day aside, drenched in sweat out in the workshop.
You did. You worked in the tin shed in the 40-degree Aussie heat.
Oh, man.
While I was floating in the pool.
Okay, big spoiler alert for anyone that hasn't watched the latest episode of Mando. If you don't want to have his name spoiled because it is revealed in the latest episode, probably mute it or switch off or skip about a minute, I guess.
Yeah.
So, his name is Grogu.
Grogu.
G-R-O-G-U. Grogu.
It sounds like Grogan, which is a really naughty word in Australia, but anyway, Grogu.
Grogu. So it's developed from Baby Yoda, the child, now Grogu.
To the asset.
Well, the asset
Asset.
as well, yeah. The asset.
So he was Mr. Asset, now
Mr.
he's
Asset.
Mr. Grogu.
Now he's Mr. Grogu.
It's sort of, the colour goes good with the colour, the name goes good with the colour of his hair. I think it works.
He's the wispy old man here. Guys, thank you so much. Oh, God.
Wet Willy! I got him! I got him, Wet Willy!
Oh, thank you so much as always for watching. You can wrap it up on me.
No! Merry Christmas! And as we say, Mrs. Mandalorian does it best!